Hey, how's it going, everyone? And welcome back to the next installment of If My Heart Had Wings. This time it's going to be a little different because there's some new things that's going to be going on, especially with it being the new year. First and foremost, in that regard, Happy New Year, everyone. I'm actually pre-taping this on New Year's Day, as a matter of fact. And it's airing today, which is Wednesday, of course. So this is something that I'm actually going to be doing with the particulations of visual novels, is I'm actually going to start pre-taping them in shorter increments so that way they can be enjoyed in a reasonable amount of time. Because I realize, it's as far as putting it on YouTube and on even on Twitch, folks need time to really be able to get into this, and by doing it in more half-hour increments, I figured it would be actually better. But let me know what you think about that. Do you still want me to stream it in 3-hour increments, or do you want to just do it like this? But honestly, I think that this 30-minute increment type of structure would be better. Plus, what that also does is it also gives me a chance to actually leave more room on the weekends when I do stream 3 hours for video game playing, because I'm actually going to get more into that now, because in good faith for Thursday this week, that is when the service technician for my new internet is supposed to be coming through. So in good faith, if that is installed, my internet will be much faster, which means there will be almost no drop frames whatsoever. And considering how fast this one is, there should not be any drop frames at all. So in the case of our last particular set of If My Heart Had Wings, we did quite a bit. We met our first female character, who is Kotori, and we helped fix her wheelchair as she had caught a flat on the windmill hill. And we also learned that, as in the dorm, that she could be a little bit crazy at times. And then, of course, we met a bunch of other people, including our main protagonist, Aoi's childhood friend, which is the red-haired girl with the fruit juice in her hand. So he's going to the same school as Kotori and the others, and he met his childhood friend there. And that is super awesome, because it's always good to actually have someone that you know when you're transferring to another school. So that is absolutely awesome. A lot of things happen in between, but apparently the main protagonist is the boarding mother at an all-girls boarding school. I mean, all-girls boarding dormitory. Yeah, typical anime tropes, right? So what we're going to do now is we are actually going to get into this. Without further ado, let's get into the second installment of If My Heart Had Wings, in particular segment to where we were chasing after Kotori just outside of the school building. I watched over the school gates like some guardian statue. I was crashed into by something in the back. In other words, from outside the school gates. Ah! Ouch! What was that? I got up and felt like I was crawling out from under an avalanche. Then I saw a big cardboard box and a girl that had fallen over. Are you okay? Well, check that out. It's Amane, who is a character from the previous encounter, where she apparently likes airplanes, spends a lot of time in the, I think it's probably an auto shop or something like that. But yeah, so here it is. We meet Amane once again. And apparently she couldn't see because she was holding a lot of cardboard boxes. Well, that happens. Oh. I looked at her as I got up, and without thinking, I thought I was going to say the super repeat student, but I held my tongue. I'm alright. As she says that, the super repeating senior holds onto the big cardboard box. Apparently she hasn't eaten recently. We had to save her last time with that. She went to lift it up, but then Senior Amane Mochizuki slumped down, exhausted. You think? I'll help you carry it. It's so heavy. The big cardboard box is incredibly heavy.
いいんだ。自分で運べるから。
Yo, how much iron does she pump? For real though. How much iron do she be pumping? Okay, I noticed that my volume was a little bit loud as far as my vocals go, so I'm gonna balance that out. Alright, here we go. Come on, it's no big deal. I said as I went to pick it up anyway.
ありがとう。
Is this okay here? I don't know what's in it, but we put the heavy cardboard box on the floor.
悪いな。手伝ってもらって。
It's alright. Anyway, Senior, if you're hungry... She was staring toward the inside of the garage. Senior? I find myself copying her and looking in the same direction. Inside. What is she doing there? Was Kotori? What's she doing here? She's by the big thing placed in the center of the garage and is trying to lift up the sheet to see what's underneath.
それに興味があるのかい?
Scared the junk out of her. Kotori is surprised when Amane speaks to her. Kotori seems intimidated and nods. Amane vigorously pulls back the sheet. Inside is a white, streamlined aircraft. Kotori looked at it dazed. I say, wow, as I let a small surprise sound slip out.
これ、もしかしてグライダー？ああ、そうだ。
Amane nodded and Kotori cautiously moved her head closer to the aircraft. Even in the dimly lit garage, the glider's white body had a glossy shine to it and faintly reflected Kotori's face. I moved towards it to take a closer look. Is this the one that we saw from Windmill Hill?
多分そう。
The smooth surface looks like it was made from plastic. However, it is hard to the touch. The wings had been removed, and for now, it was just the body.
コックピットはこんな風になってるんだ。
This is amazing. Huh? We started talking to each other at some point, then finally realized who it was we were talking to. Hey you, why were you running away just now? She calmly ignores my question, but then hurriedly tries to escape, so I go ahead to block her. I won't let you get away. Is this dude literally just like, I am not letting you get away this time?
意地悪なやつが校門で見張ってたからここに隠れてたのよ。
So she really was trying to leave early.
知り合いかい？
Long story. Amani was listening carefully to our conversation. Amani was wolfing down a Neapolitan pasta lunchbox, and Kotori and I both had a face that seemed to say, whoa, and looked on in amazement. Why would we say, whoa?
なんでかな。美人にこういうことされるとすごいがっかりする。
Oh. She didn't know that when she was eating ice cream like a crazy idiot, I had the same reaction when I was watching her. By the way, the thing that Amane was eating was the lunchbox that I'd brought. As usual, the boarders hadn't eaten the breakfast I had made for them, so I packed it as my lunch. I had made 2 lunchboxes. One was for me. As for the other one, I thought that if Kotori was going to go to school, she might have found it difficult at lunchtime. So I was worried about her and brought another lunchbox. That's why I was chasing her. If she didn't need it, I thought that I might eat them both myself, but she ran away before I could ask her.
でも、いいのか？君のお弁当全部食べてしまって。
Nah, piece of cake, I'm on a diet anyway. Asked Amane, although she had already eaten most of it before asking. I've already eaten mine. I was hungry during morning recess, so I had lunch early. Relieved to hear my answer, Amane continues to enjoy the cold Neapolitan pasta.
美味しいな。ちゃんとしたご飯を食べるのは久しぶりだ。
Didn't you have anything to eat after I saw you yesterday? I only gave her 1 piece of bread. Amane stopped moving her chopstick and took a good look at my face.
もしかして君は昨日パンをくれた人か？
You've only just realized?
いや、昨日は集中していたからな。
She really is weird.
そうか、君は2度も私を救ってくれたのか。
She looked at me with eyes that sparkled like a little kid's. If she were a dog, her tail would definitely be wagging like crazy.
君からパンをもらったのが約20時間前で、それ以前に遡るなら、最後に食事をとったのはおよそ70時間前になる。
I counted my fingers. If there are 24 hours in a day, that's 3 days ago!
太陽圏の豚骨ラーメン全部のせを食べた。スープが濃厚で美味しかった。
She recalls this and her face looks like she's about to start drooling. Why don't you eat? Are you on a diet?
忘れていた。
Huh?
考え事をしていると他のことをよく忘れるんだ。私はバカだからな。
I got a little bit of that bad habit, but not to this extent. Amane replied with pride. I'd prefer it if she didn't compare it to when people forget things because they're hungry.
ここでグライダーを作っているんですか？ああ。
Are you doing that here?
ソアリング部の部室兼ガレージだが。
Soaring Club? I wasn't familiar with that name. What's soaring?
上昇気流に乗ってグライダーで飛ぶことをソアリングと言うんだ。
Flying a glider by riding the rising air currents. I kind of get it, but on the other hand, I don't get it. So the aim of the club is to make and fly a glider?
そういうことになるな。
So this garage is used for club activities after all. Even so, it's pretty spacious.
グライダーって飛行機みたいなものなんでしょ？自分で作れるものなの？ ああ、作れるさ。それが人工物である以上、人に作れないものはないはずだわ。
I have a feeling that's not what she's asking. However, Amane answered the question in all seriousness.
どうやって作るの？そうだな。それを説明するなら、実際に作ってみた方が早い。
Hold on a moment, I said as Amane slurped up the last of the Neapolitan with extremely bad manners. Wiping round her mouth with a tissue, she started rummaging through a desk drawer.
あれはどこに行ったかな。
Peeking inside the drawer, somehow I get the impression that Amane is a typical disorganized person. Rather than things being put away, it was more like they were stuffed in.
あったあった。これだ。
The thing that Amane had taken out was a paper airplane construction kit made using cardboard.
さあ、作ってみてくれ。
Without thinking, Kotori and I looked at each other. I feel that manufacturing a glider and making a paper airplane are completely different things. But for now, I'll try doing as she says. Using glue and a craft knife, in about 10 minutes, we had finished the paper plane.
できたわ。
All done. Amane takes the plane that Kotori had made and takes a good look. Then she threw it. The paper airplane floated gently as it flew and landed near the wall on the other side of the garage.
きれいにまっすぐ飛んだ。いい機体だ。
Kotori seems embarrassed at being complimented.
飛行機にはいろんな種類がある。ジャンボジェットや小型セスナ、戦闘機、そして今投げた紙飛行機。それらはみんな同じ原理で飛ぶんだ。
Paper airplanes and jumbo jets are the same?
ああ、原理は同じ。翼を使って空気に浮かび飛行する。
Kotori and I both tilted our heads in puzzlement. We both had a skeptical look on our faces. I can understand that a light paper airplane can fly by riding the wind, but it's hard to imagine that a giant hunk of metal can float in the sky on the same principle. There must be some other method that allows it to fly. Amane goes to pick up the paper airplane that she had just thrown.
これをよく見てほしい。君たちが知っている飛行機とこの紙飛行機、違いはどこにある？
The size of the material?
人が乗るかどうかも違うわ。そうだな。あとはエンジンがあるかないかくらいか。逆に言えばその他は同じだ。そこに飛行の原理がある。一般的な飛行機はだいたいこれと同じパーツからできている。まずは胴体、次に主翼、水平尾翼、垂直尾翼。多少突飛な形状をした飛行機でもだいたい同じパーツか、あるいは同じ役割をする別のパーツによって構成されている。
When she puts it like that, I guess she's right. Never paid it that much attention to it.
ところで、飛行機がなぜ空気に浮くのか知っているかい？揚力があるからよ。そうだ。揚力とは流体の中にある翼に働く力のうち、流れの方向に対して垂直な成分のことを言う。
I look baffled again, and Amane smiles a little and rephrases it.
つまり空気が翼を浮き上がらせようとする力のことだ。 揚力はここ主翼によって生み出される。翼に前から風が当たると空気は翼の上と下に分かれて流れていくことになる。
I can just imagine the wings cutting the air like a blade.
この時翼の上側と下側で気流の速度に差が生じると流れの速い側の圧力が下がるんだ。ベルヌイの定理ね。
Amane nods. Standing beside her, I'm a little freaked out as she is so easily comes out with a word like Bernoulli. What the hell is that?
授業で習ったでしょ。
We didn't learn that at my school. Maybe.
だから飛行機の翼は上面の空気が速く流れるよう設計されている。上面側の圧力を下げるためだ。そうすることで相対的に下面の圧力が高まり空気が翼を持ち上げようとするんだ。
The air lifts the wings up? It's a phenomenon that's hard to suddenly imagine. So that's Bernoulli's theorem, huh? Amane nodded as if to say yes.
それともう一つ、翼の上面を流れた空気は翼面によって下へ曲げられ後方に吹き下ろしを生じさせる。
As she explains, Amane is drawing a cross-section of the wing. According to that, an airplane's wings are flat at the bottom, and the top is shaped like a mountain, so it seems like it's semicircular. Apparently, the air on the upper side flows along the raised curved surface and then bends to flow downwards. As for the question of why the air flows along the raised surface, it can only be said that this because of the nature of the air. Or so it would seem.
この吹き下ろしはニュートンの第三法則によって同じだけの反作用を翼に与え上方に持ち上げようとする。
The reaction lifts up the wing?
重たいバスケットボールを地面に叩きつけようとしたら体がふわーっと浮く感じがするでしょ。それと同じことよ。
Does that mean that when the wing drops in the air, the reaction causes it to float?
それら揚力が機体の重量を上回った時、飛行機は空を飛ぶことができる。たとえそれが総重量数百トンに及ぶジャンボ旅客機でもね。
Theoretically, that may be so, but I still couldn't imagine how enough lift to cause a several hundred-ton plane to take off could be created. However, airplanes do actually fly in the sky.
揚力を生み出してくれるこの主翼は飛行機が空に浮かぶために必要なパーツというわけだ。
I don't know if I understand or not. However, I understood that the main wings are the most important part.
次に尾翼だが垂直と水平と2つある。これらは空中で機体の姿勢を安定させるためについている。飛行機は空中に浮いているから地面に立つ我々よりもいつだって不安定なんだ。まっすぐ上を向いてるのが垂直尾翼。横方向の動きを安定させる。主翼と同じ向きに横に伸びているのが水平尾翼。こっちは縦の動き、つまり頭の上げ下げを安定させてくれる。これがないと紙飛行機もまっすぐには飛んでくれない。
You know, after watching a bunch of episodes of Seconds from Disaster and also a bunch of episodes of Air Crash Investigation, I can kind of follow along with this. I see. So that's why they have small wings on the tail.
そしてボディ。 ここは飛ぶこととは直接関係がないな。
But if you don't have this, there's nowhere to attach the wings.
以上が飛行機の基本形。これはずっと昔、ライト兄弟の時代から変わらない。
Since that long ago? But the Wright brothers were the first people in the world to fly a plane, right? So nothing has changed since the very first one made.
ライト兄弟は動力を積んだ飛行機で飛んだ最初の人たちだ。グライダーはそれ以前から飛んでいたぞ。
Yeah, I guess so. I always thought that the Wright brothers were the first to fly.
翼の役割を知りたければ、この紙飛行機で試してみるといい。例えば、そうだな。垂直尾翼を少し曲げて。それ。
The plane that Amane threw curved gently as it flew.
さらに、主翼のここの部分を少し曲げれば。
She bent the left and right wings so that they twisted at the back. This time the plane twisted as it flew. Hey, that's pretty interesting. Seeing this, Kotori started to adjust the tail fin on her own paper airplane.
見てて。
Full of confidence, Kotori threw her paper airplane. Whoa. Oh, we're doing corkscrews and stuff. It did a beautiful loop-the-loop before landing. That was a loop-the-loop. That looked like a corkscrew. I'm gonna have to review that again, but that looked like a corkscrew to me. That's cool. It did a loop-the-loop.
面白い、この紙飛行機。
Kotori and I both really engrossed in adjusting the wings and playing around. Sometimes the paper airplanes displayed some mid-air aerobatics, and other times they didn't fly at all and crashed into the ground. However, by trying it for ourselves, we were able to get a real understanding of the role of the wings. By just changing the shape of the wings a little, you can make them fly in many different ways.
実際の飛行機には補助翼などの小さな翼がついている。それらを調節することで機体を操作するんだ。
That is true. As she explained, Amane moved to the side of the garage. Then she lovingly laid her hand on the glider.
このグライダーにはエンジンはついていない。紙飛行機を大きく頑丈にしてコックピットを取り付けただけのものなんだ。
Kotori and I looked at the paper airplanes in our hands. I imagined riding it and flying through the sky. This is just like the fantasies I envisioned as a kid. The glider in front of me was the real thing.
どうだ？作れそうな気がしてきただろ？
But it doesn't have an engine. How does it fly? Paper airplanes gain thrust by being thrown by people.
風に乗って飛ぶんだ。
Both I and Kotori gazed at the white aircraft. That day we saw this flying from Windmill Hill, riding the wind. That expression expresses it so perfectly. The way it flew so smoothly and calmly.
風に乗って。
Amane nods happily.
そして上昇気流に乗ってどこまでも舞い上がる。どこまでも？ああ、雲の上にだって行けるんだぞ。雲の上
Kotori looked at the aircraft with an expression of disbelief. I also couldn't imagine that this thing flying above the clouds. Have you been there? Above the clouds?
それがな。
Suddenly her mood drops.
組み上がったのがついこの間で、ようやくテストフライトにこぎつけたんだが、あの時だ。
Ah! Kotori and I react by exchanging glances.
強度が足りなかったみたいで、途中で主翼が折れてしまった。
Ooh. So you mean...
危ないところだった。もし完全に折れていたら湖に落ちて死んでいたかもな。
You did engineer the ability to use a parachute, right? She laughed as she spoke.
また作り直さないといけない。私は手先があまり器用じゃないからな。それと一部のケーキが故障してるのも分かったんだが、代わりの部品が手に入らなくて困っている。自分で作っちゃえばいいんじゃないの？
Tori said that so easily at a school where things like this are taught. They have all the equipment you need to make anything, from a screw to an aircraft.
そうもいかなくてな。
Amane, with a troubled look on her face, took some broken parts from the drawer.
ダイヤフラムといって待機速度計に組み込まれている部品なんだが、特注品でこれを作った工場がとっくの昔に潰れてしまっているんだ。
Kotori and I gazed at the parts in the palm of Amane's hand. It certainly looks it wouldn't be easy to make. If it's the kind of thing that can be made in the town factory, there might be something that can be done about it. Amane's eyes light up as I quietly mumble.
本当か？
Well, I don't know until I ask, but I know someone like that.
頼む。それがないと本当に困るんだ。
Okay, I'll try asking next time I see him. Can I borrow this?
ありがとう。君に救われるのはこれで3度目だ。
Whoa! Suddenly she gives me a full-on hug, and we're even cheek to cheek.
ありがとう。ありがとう。
You can thank me once I've actually got it.
そういえばそうだったな。でもご飯のお礼も兼ねているんだ。だからもう一回感謝の気持ちを表させてくれ。
No, that's enough. Seriously.
そうか？
It's just a hug, kid. It's just a hug. Kotori was suddenly glaring at me. I wonder if this will really fly. Kotori and I both gazed at the glider with the same look on our faces.
ところで君たち、
Huh?
もしグライダーに興味があるのなら、その
The bell rings, interrupting Amane. Amane flinches in surprise and quickly turns her back to us. If we're interested, what is it?
いや、いいんだ。忘れてくれ。
I'd say she wants us to join the club. Somehow it seems she's avoiding something. Amane?
なんだ？
Can I come and see you again?
ああ、もちろんだ。興味があるならいつでも来てくれ。
I have to bring her those parts as well.
君もまた見に来てくれ。
With this new development, I'd say Kotori might change her mind about resigning. As Kotori nods, Amane grins as she nods back. She's really beautiful, but her smile somehow makes her look like a little kid. All right, shall we go back to the classroom? Never mind. I started pushing Kotori's wheelchair and decided to start walking.
どこ連れて行く気？
The classroom, of course.
やだ、やめて。私お腹空いてるの。お昼食べてないから。
That's your fault, little sis. You should have ate. You reap what you sow.
やだってもう。押さないで。
I brought Kotori with me against her wishes, and we returned to the classroom. Okay, folks. We're going to actually leave a cliffhanger right there because it's time. Don't want to make this too long, obviously, for obvious reasons. I want to keep it around really no more than 30 minutes. So thank you so much, folks, for hanging out with me and watching this video. If you like the performances today, if you like the fact that I'm using reverb to actually accentuate the monologue of the main character, by all means, let me know in the comments below. If you like this, leave a like. By all means, please subscribe if you like to see more content of this. I'm going to make more content of this anyway. But by all means, if you could hit that subscribe button and that like button, it's really, really appreciated. Your communication in that regard really lets me be able to really figure out what I need to do in this, as I'm a newbie to this as far as YouTubing and stuff like that. So all of your support is greatly appreciated. So with that, until next time, happy mixing, everyone.